Hello, hi, and welcome to EmpathicFire. I am your reader, Jay. These are going to be your general love messages for the second half of April 2018. Hi, everybody. How are you doing? I hope you're all doing well. I just wanted to give a general overall intro for all of these videos I'm going to do, repeating what I did with the first half of April, where I'm going to read by each element, starting with fire, ending with the water signs, and each sign within that element is going to have their own deck assigned to them through meditation. You're either going to have the Happy Tarot deck here, the Santa Muerte deck here, or the Housewives Tarot deck here. And you're going to have 3 cards on this side, which will represent the energy of the zodiac, which we're discussing at the moment. And on this side, you'll have the energy of the partner, potential partner, friends with benefits, the person that you're interested in, the person that is interested in you. And then we're going to read all of those cards together at once. I'd like to thank everybody for coming to view this video and watching other videos that I've put up on this channel. I really do appreciate it. I also would like to invite anyone who is interested in having a personal reading with me to check the description box below or the About page. You'll find the information on how to do that there. And if you aren't necessarily interested in a personal reading, but you just want to show your thanks or gratitude for what I'm putting out here, you can feel free to give a donation. And that information will also be in the description box below or found on the About page, okay? So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into the readings, starting with the fire signs. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hello, hi, and welcome to EmpathicFire. I am your reader, Jay. Hello, Earth signs. This is going to be your love readings for the second half of April 2018. I want to thank you guys for coming to view this video. As you heard in the intro, I've gone ahead and meditated on your separate energies, assigning each of you a deck. Taurus, you have the Santa Muerte deck. Virgo, you have the Happy Tarot deck. And Capricorn, you have the Housewives Tarot deck. Before I get started, just want to remind everybody, look in the description box below for the timestamps in case you don't want to see other signs and you just want to get down to the nitty-gritty of everything that we do here. Also check the description box and the About page if you're interested in getting a personal reading with me. Just go ahead and look at how to set that up, and then I will be happy to work with you. Absolutely happy to work with you. And for those who maybe don't need or don't really think that they want a personal reading for any reason, donations of any amount would be appreciated. You can do that via my PayPal link, which also will be in the description box or the About page. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask that the Virgo and Capricorn energies excuse us, because we're going to start with Taurus, as Taurus is the first of the earth signs on the zodiac wheel. Virgo and Capricorn. See you guys in a bit. Taurus, I'm going to lay you here in the center. And we have a new addition to the love read this second time that I'm doing this. This lovely elephant made out of pink quartz, who I have cleverly named Ellie. And I place Ellie over the spot of the heart chakra that's there on the cloth that sits on top of the table here. Taurus, hi, how are you? I hope everything is going well for you. I hope that the Mercury retrograde was kind to you, and if it hasn't been, let's hope that as we move out of it, things start looking up, okay? So I've gone ahead and meditated on your energy. Let me go ahead and reconnect quickly with Taurus. Second half of April. And once I reconnect and actually ask a proper question of the deck, then we'll be ready to go. Taurus, second half of April. Yes. Okay, Taurus, this might be the first time that you're viewing the video, or my love reading, so let me go ahead and explain what happens here. The first card out is going to be who you are now, at this stage in your relationship, your love relationship, what you're bringing to the table, how you view yourself, what you might be going through in certain circumstances, things like that. And that'll be the first card that appears here. And I didn't state it, well, maybe I did state it in the opening, I think I did, that this reading would apply for anybody who's single, dating, married, interested, not interested. Just how is love affecting you, or how are you approaching love at this time in your life? So that's going to be card number 1, and that's kind of the general purpose of the reading. Your second card out is going to be how you are connecting with your partner, potential partner. how you are seeing them came as a sidewinder. Up. Okay. Third card out is going to be what your desired outcome is in this connection with this person. What you might be hoping for, what you might be wishing for, or what might be the best advice for you going forward, Taurus, in this connection. Okay. First card on their side is going to be how they're viewing themselves in this relationship. What might they be dealing with right now? What might their mental state be, their emotional state be, things like this. Slightly sidewinder. Let me see. Up. Okay. Second card is going to be how they're viewing you, Taurus, in this connection, your partner or potential partner. What are they feeling towards you? What are they thinking about you guys as a connection together? Another sidewinder. Interesting. Up or down, please. Come on. Up. Thank you. All right. And the third card on their side is going to be their desired outcome, what they might be wishing or hoping for in the future of this connection with you, or what might be the best advice for them going forward in this relationship with you, Taurus. Almost. Oh, there it goes. And in the general love reading, there is no bottom of the deck energy. Taurus, you act as your own overall anchoring energy for the love readings, because that's who this message is for. And that's their outcome card, your partner. Go ahead and flip over your outcome card. I'll take a look at what we have, and then I'll tell you what I see. And feel and hear and all that good stuff. Okay. All right, Taurus. All right. Okay. All right, coming into the second half of April, Taurus, you're coming in as the Page of Swords. And again, this is the Santa Muerte deck, so everything in this deck has a little death, Dia de los Muertos artwork associated with it. But anyway, Page of Swords. As you can see, this page is writing a letter. So you're wanting to say something, Taurus. You're wanting to get something off of your chest or get something off of your mind is probably a little more apt, since we're talking about swords, and swords deals with mental capacities, our the way that we think, the way that we communicate, the way that we speak, things like that. So you might be composing a letter, but of course most of us don't write, handwritten letters anymore. So you might be texting, you might be sending messages via email, Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, wherever you're communicating. And in terms of it being a love reading, I'm not sure that you're necessarily communicating with your partner. You might be getting things off of your chest, or, processing things with your mind, or not with your mind, but processing the thoughts that you might be having in your head, maybe doubts, maybe fears, maybe things that you're kind of paranoid about, or debating whether you should confront your partner about with friends. So you might be talking to a friend via text message and, kind of confiding in them. Okay, I don't really necessarily think that whatever message you're composing, whatever communication that you're creating, is going towards your partner. For some of you, you might be doing that. It's not out of the realm of possibilities with Taurus that they would, quote unquote, confront their partner with things that might be bothering them or worrying them or occupying your mind. But the thing about it is, the page traditionally is not a mature energy, or not as mature as, say, the King or the Queen of Swords. So there is a potential that something that you're going to say in a cliched way will get lost in translation, or might become a game of telephone. Like if you start telling your friends, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your husband, your wife, your bit on the side, whoever it is, did or said something that offended you, that friend might tell someone else, and that friend might tell somebody else, and then it gets back to said boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, whoever. And instead of it's a complaint about, oh man, he's not You know, he's not taking the laundry out of the washer and putting it in the dryer, so I have to like redo the laundry. It becomes, you never do laundry, you don't cook or clean around the house, you're a lazy bum, etc., etc. So something might get exacerbated or exaggerated if you're not communicating it correctly or with tact or with kind of clear words or with the very distinct message to someone else, hey, this stays between you and me. You know what I mean? So there might be a game of telephone involved or just a general misunderstanding, miscommunication that goes on. Despite, you know, your best efforts. Like this page looks pretty well put together, right? He's definitely not, and he's writing by hand, so this is with a quill, no less. So what you're saying is important. What you're saying has weight in the sense of you have to really think about it, or you have been really thinking about it, but in the ears of someone else, or someone else hearing it might take it a certain way that you didn't intend. And that makes sense coming out of this Mercury retrograde period where things can still get a little sticky in terms of communication. So you might want to be cautious of that, or just be cautious of who you tell. You know, sometimes you don't necessarily need to tell a person. I mean, unless you're looking for feedback and advice, sometimes you can just speak it out loud and tell the universe or talk to God or whatever, however you might want to phrase that. And it will possibly give you the, alleviate the pressure or the paranoia or the anxiety that you're dealing with, okay? Now, how you're viewing your partner in the second half of April, you're viewing them as the Two of Wands. Bandito. You're viewing this person, this is not normally in the traditional tarot, at least not a defensive card, but in this particular deck, it seems kind of defensive, right? It seems kind of like ready for war, ready for battle, ready to go out guns blazing. No pun intended, but there are the guns, and, you know, he's got a scarf on his face, so he's not just doing that for play, right? So I think you're viewing your partner as kind of having something to, they're defending themselves, or they're defending a position that they have, or because again, the mask of this skeleton figure, or excuse me, the face of this skeleton figure has a mask or a bandana across it. So your partner may be hiding something from you. And again, that's not the traditional understanding of this Two of Wands, especially in Rider-Waite decks, but the reason I like this deck and all the other decks that I've chosen is that there's room to reinterpret. And so that's kind of what I'm getting there. And red, the color red would signal passion, as well as just it being the suit of wands. So your partner might be putting up a fight. Playfully, not playfully, you know, with a smile on their face, with a scowl on their face, I don't know. But there's something that they're not fully expressing to you. And so you guys just might be at an impasse when it comes to communication right now, because again, you're off writing letters and sending text messages or whatever to people who may or may not be involved in your relationship, who may or may not know your partner, and your partner is kind of holding back some type of passion or potential fury or anger, or just something that they're really pent up about. They're either holding it back, or they will give you that side of them if this communication about how you're displeased about the laundry gets back to them. So they're either pretty defensive and ready to blow their top, or they're coming in guns blazing whenever you guys get together. So in the very least, Taurus, you have a passionate connection with this person. You guys are potentially going toe-to-toe, so to speak. If you guys are going toe-to-toe, like literally, don't. I'm not an advocate for violence, so rethink that, please. But, you know, life is life, and sometimes that stuff happens, right? Okay, so what's your desired outcome in this relationship? You have the Ten of Pentacles, which is nice, even though for some maybe it's not so nice. A butterfly whose bottom half is made up of toes, I don't know. But Ten of Pentacles traditionally talks about legacy, happy family. Let me double check. Yeah, on the bottom there. Okay, so it's like a little village. So sense of community, or building a community, building a home, building a strong foundation across generations is the traditional understanding of the Ten of Pentacles. And in this case, I think that would be something easily that Taurus would want. You guys definitely are a nurturing sign. You do care a lot about family and family values and being around loved ones, and that brings you a lot of joy. So I wouldn't say that's not at play here. But I also feel that just straight up money is also at play here. And that could be something that you are communicating with your friends about, that your spouse or partner or whoever is kind of defensive about. Like maybe you're taking them out on all the lovely dates. You're footing the bill every time you guys go out for a night on the town, and they're not ponying up any money. And you're like, but I want money. Like, I'm spending my money on you, and that means I can't have my Ten of Pentacles. So there might be a discrepancy for some of you regarding the funds in this relationship. Who's spending what, how often, how much, and where's the balance in that, okay? You don't really have it here, a card of reciprocity, but that could be a factor since you kind of have this at odds energy between yourself and the partner on your side. If it's not necessarily just about money, Ten of Pentacles, I think it would also talk about if you don't, like really evaluating what would make a happy family for you. You know, not only is it a goal for most Tauruses to want a happy family, it's like the details, the nooks and crannies of what that happy family life, what that legacy of family would actually look like. So some of you who may be married or on the road to marriage or engaged, or, you know, even if you just started dating, but you're like, this is the one, you might be really, really looking over your partner and the relationship that you have with a fine-tooth comb. Like, is this really it? Like, you're really like, you bust out the magnifying glass while you're writing your letter. I'm sure there's a magnifying glass very near if you've got a quill, okay? And you bust out the magnifying glass and you really go over the minute details of what you share with this person, who they are, how they, you know, interact with you, how you interact with them, all of that kind of stuff, to really say, is this the one? Is this the person I'm going to establish my long-term, generations-long, you know, I'm going to make our family tree when we have our first baby. Is this the person I'm going to do that with? So there's a slight hint of evaluation there, because, and the reason I'm saying that is because the village is kind of obstructed with this vegetation in the bottom here. So what you want is kind of shadowy, or it's being obstructed. You can't see it clearly, so you'd have to clear it away. You'd have to, like, evaluate. Am I going to go in there and pull these weeds out by hand, or am I going to get some weed killer, or am I going to call some professional with pesticides and take care of it? So the way that you want to get to that happy village, that community feeling of, oh, this is my cousin and these are my nieces, and, you know, expanding that happiness and that feeling of family, you'd have to dig through the weeds first, aka look at the details, okay? How's your partner coming into this relationship in the second half of April? They come in as the Justice card, which I think was coming up. I think it appeared in the fire sign reading, but I don't remember for who. So aside from this being a card of Libra, some of you might be dealing with a Libra. It might also apply to one of the fire signs. I really can't remember who it was, but I think they got Justice in this position or in this position, so there might be an overlap there. Anyway, Justice. As your partner, how they're viewing themselves, how they're what energy they're bringing in. This is what's in my mind. You know, this up and down, like the scales would be, and also that whole duality, or like two hands going this way. Strange to say, but I also get it in that Two of Wands energy. So your partner, Taurus, they're making a decision on something, or a decision is being made for them, if this is dealing with, because Justice does talk about legal systems and courts and things like that. So someone is having a decision made for them. So somebody is going to pay alimony, somebody's going to pay child support, somebody's not. Somebody's going to lose that case with the insurance company. Somebody's going to get the case won with the insurance company, whatever. So your partner may be occupied literally in the court of law, in a court of law. If they're not, they are the one who are taking matters into their own hand, sort of exacting their own justice, trying to find their own sense of justice, trying to be fair, find what's fair to them. This doesn't work syntactically, but do what's fair to them. Well, actually, that could work. So they are going to make a move, or at least they're thinking about making a move, not necessarily a literal move like with a U-Haul or anything, but they're deciding on where to go next. And again, this up and down between two hands, left or right, up or down, like this, it's either this way or that, this way or that. So some of them are making like a final decision on something. Is it with Taurus? You know, this is how that came out, you know. So a combination of yes and no. So whatever they're deciding has a potential to affect you, Taurus, but it's not necessarily yes and it's not necessarily no. It could be, depending on the circumstances, depending on so many factors, it may or may not affect you. And the energy is also kind of closed off, you know? Like this energy, quiet. It's also quiet. Stands alone is quiet. So they might be thinking about whatever they're going to decide on, whatever the circumstances, whoever the key players are involved. If they're going to make a decision about something, they're probably doing it pretty quietly. You probably don't know. Maybe you know now. But it's not sneaky energy. When I say that it's quiet and standalone, it's not sneaky. I think it's just really like sort of self-reflective. Like they're not trying to get away with something because it is the Justice card and there is that element of trying to be fair, wanting to be fair, but being quiet about it. So however that comes out to you. How are they viewing you in this relationship or the relationship between you? 3 of Swords. Well. Maybe that explains the quiet. So, Taurus, traditional Rider-Waite, I'm sure many of you know it, shows a heart with 3 swords in it. This one, I don't know if you can really tell, shows one skeleton standing over the other, foot on his back, driving 2 swords into the back of the one skeleton whose sword is discarded and on the ground. Or what? Oh, no, it's like being offered, excuse me. So it seems that the skeleton on the ground was offering its sword to this other skeleton, and the other skeleton was like, you know what, I'm going to step on your back and stab you in the back. So, Taurus, with that imagery, some of you, in the eyes of your partner, are a backstabber, or they are the backstabber, but there's somebody's back has holes in it, basically. For some of you out there. And whether or not you know it, I'm not sure, but it's just a general feeling of betrayal. A general okay, so for some, betrayal, like totally backstab, totally someone has done you dirty, or you've done them dirty, totally. In other cases, I feel like this is like in et tu, Brute moment, or like a Judas moment. Like, of course, those are betrayals, but it's like that extra level of betrayal. Like, sometimes, at least in my experience, sometimes you know that somebody's a sneaky snake and you can't trust them, or you get like a certain vibe off of them and you're like, I don't trust you. For some of you, that's the situation. You didn't trust them, they didn't trust you, and you kind of always had that feeling in this relationship, or in some circumstance between you. You know, I thought you'd I thought you spent too much on the credit card. I knew you were lying. I knew you were hiding the bills from me. Whatever. Something like that. It doesn't have to be a huge betrayal like cheating or anything like that. It could just be something else. For others of you who didn't have that sneaking suspicion, who couldn't find proof by, checking emails or anything like that, this will be a shock to either one of you. One or both of you are going to be like, what? You were a Judas this whole time? Because what was Judas, right? Who, loyal to the end. From in the eyes of other, of course, they say Jesus knew the whole time. Jesus knew the deal, right? But all the other apostles and everybody else who was paying attention were like, what? Judas did what? He did what? Because he was in bed with the other side against Jesus. That's what's going to come out for someone. You did what? And you came home and you smiled in my face and we laughed and we watched reruns of Big Bang Theory, and you acted like nothing was going on, like that kind of betrayal. And that's how they're viewing you, so they must think you did it. But they might be dastardly and actually be the ones who did it. Or at least, like I said at the top, it can be the energy that you share, so you both could be doing some Judas-type stuff. What are they hoping for as the outcome in your relationship is the Six of Cups? Interesting. So, Six of Cups traditionally is talking about balance, reciprocity. Also is traditionally understood to be in the Rider-Waite deck a card of nostalgia, right? Not so much here. Yeah. I think this one here, because this skeleton, she's carrying 5 cups. 1 is missing. This is almost like a 7 of Swords energy, I get. Like, where's the 6th cup, ma'am? We ordered 6 beers, or you said you were going to go get 6 beers, but you came back with 5. What happened to the 6th one? So there's something about things that aren't clear or things that haven't been right needing to be set right. Needing to be clarified, needing to be aired out, exposed. Bottom line, truthful. Something needs to be truthful. Someone needs to be truthful. They do, you both do. Your mom, and if your mom hates your partner, she needs to be truthful. Whoever. But this is tough because it's a cups card, so it's about emotions. And, like, who carries 6 cups like that? Like, not even waitress. Like, you're a terrible waitress if this is what you're doing. You know what I mean? So, whoever this is, and it's on their side, so it might as well be them, right? The emotional weight. Oh, there are 6 cups. Oh, but 1 is spilling. My bad. It's kind of blending into the road there. I don't know if you can see that. It's cutting back in, because this stone road is very gray, and so are those cups. So there are 6 cups in her hand, but 1 is spilling out. So she's about to lose that 6th cup anyway. So there you go. So maybe that's what's going on. Somebody is about to lose something. Not necessarily this relationship, not necessarily the connection you have or anything like that, but there is something about, with cups being representing emotions, something is about to spill over. Something is about to sort of come to rest, is how it came out in my head just now. Come to rest. So maybe you guys have been arguing lately, and maybe you've had a tense time recently, Taurus, in the previous first half of April, or even earlier in March or February. And maybe now you guys are going to communicate. Who did the backstabbing will be revealed. Your partner will want to be fair. Even though you're viewing them as defensive, they view themselves as trying to be fair. And maybe there will be a releasing of the emotions. Their pent-up emotions, your pent-up mental energy. And, yeah. It's interesting. And they want the Six of Cups. They want things to get clear. And you do too, with that Ten of Pentacles, weeding away, really getting into the details. Some of you might have a discrepancy here. Some of you might be at an impasse. I don't see a breakup, but I just see potential for it to stay like this. For others of you, you're going to see that you're at an impasse. You're going to see that you're at this point where you guys aren't communicating well. You're not getting along. You're being passive aggressive. You're getting other people involved by, writing long emails to your best friend who lives in Belgium, whatever. And that will have to stop. Someone has a potential to be like, enough of that. Let's put all our cards on the table, no pun intended, since we're watching a tarot reading, right? But let's put our cards on the table. Let's get back to, if we're talking about nostalgia, let's get back to how we were at the beginning of this relationship and really be honest with one another. Okay? All right, Taurus. That's going to be your reading for the second half of April. I thank you for watching to this point. If you liked it, please go ahead and hit the like button. Feel free to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already subscribed. And also feel free to leave comments. I like comments. I like to know what you guys think of the readings, if they resonated with you, if they didn't, things like that. And if you feel compelled to share the video with your friends, share it. That would be nice. So, bye, Taurus. We're going to get on to Virgo now. Hello, Virgo. Welcome to your reading for the second half of April. Like I was just telling Taurus, I've gone and previously meditated on your energy, so I'm just going to get reintroduced to it now. Also hope you're doing well, Virgo. Sorry if I didn't say so when I brought you up here to the board. And I hope the Mercury retrograde was good to you. Hope it wasn't too terrible or too trying. Hope it was down to just mechanical issues and technological issues and not crazy issues, All right, Virgo, let me go ahead and get started here. Your first card out for Virgo is going to be how you're feeling about yourself. What's the energy that you're bringing, how you see yourself in this relationship, and the energy that you're bringing to it in the second half of April 2018 in your love life. Okay, down on the... Oh, where did you go? There you go. Couldn't see it for a second. Okay. Second card, Virgo, is going to be how you're viewing your partner at this time, or how you're viewing your connection with them. These cards are some of the hardest to shuffle. They're like a tad too long. Third card, Virgo, on your side is going to be your desired outcome, what you might be hoping or wishing for in this connection, or what might be the advice for you going forward in this connection. First card out on your partner's side is going to be how they're viewing themselves in this relationship right now. What's the energy that they're bringing to the table? What might they be going through? Okay, that's 3. But 2 fell on the table. So you go back. These 2. Yes? No. Yes? No. No. Okay. Sorry. I think because it came as 3 that I was led to do a no. So, again, first card out in the first position is going to be what's the energy that your partner is bringing into the relationship right now, how they're viewing themselves, what might be going on in terms of their personal situation and circumstances. Okay, you got 2 again, but just 2. And it's going to go down here like that. All right, Virgo, second card is going to be how your partner is viewing themselves in this relationship at this time. What are their thoughts about themselves? Or excuse me, their thoughts about you. Excuse me, how they're viewing you. Or how they're viewing you guys as a unit. What they think of your relationship together. There we go. Third card on their side is going to be their desired outcome, what they might be hoping and wishing for in this connection with you in the second half of April. What might be the advice for them going forward, etc. And there is no bottom of the deck energy because you, Virgo, are your own overall energy in the love reading. All right, let me go ahead and flip all these. And then we're going to get into it, Virgo. And that's not, there we go. Come down, there you go. All right. Okay. All right. Virgo, this might be short and sweet. But I don't even know if that happens with me. Anyway. How you're coming into your love relationship in the second half of April, Virgo. You're coming in as the Knight of Cups reversed. Show it to you upright. In case you're not familiar with this deck. Isn't he cute? Look at him. Oh, focus. There-ish. Anyway, but it's reversed. So, you're not really feeling the love right now. Or you're confused. Either you're not feeling the love or you're confused, you're discombobulated, your head is not in the love game right now. And I think it either used to be or some of you want it to be, but it's just not. And also, you might need to be focusing on loving yourself right now, some of you out there. Or that might be your intention, is to love yourself, and you really have no love to spare, no give a care to spare for some of you. You're like, no, I have to work on me right now. Sorry. Or if you're happy and you do have a partner and you're steady and you love them dearly and they love you, you just might not be feeling super effusive, super affectionate. You might have other things that are taking up your time that are priorities in your life right now, such as work or what else is there in life? Work. You might have issues with family members that don't concern your partner. You might have issues with your health that would concern your partner, but it's really something that you might have to face alone. So some of you are, I think a good portion of you actually, are single-minded right now. So some of you want to be single if you aren't. Some of you are single and you want to keep it that way. Some of you are with a partner and you love them and they love you and everything is great, but you have to kind of go and do your own thing for the moment. Also, some of you might be drinking a little bit. Like, I don't know about you, but if that was like a vodka cran in that guy's hand, he's having a good time. So, but it's upside down. So some of you might be doing this in excess. Some of you might be drinking a little more than usual, which we all have the potential to do sometime in our lives. If it's not a habit, I don't really see an issue there. So how are you viewing your partner or your connection with them at this time in the second half of April? You're viewing them as the 10 of Pentacles. Very nice. Very, very nice. Happy families. Legacy. The passing on of the baton from one generation to the next, building those long-standing foundations, making sure you have a fabulous home life. Things like that. That's the innate meaning of this card. Now, viewing your partner that way. For those of you who are in that loving relationship where it's not about, I want to leave, it's just, I got to take time to myself, that's how you view your partner. That's like your boo. That's your ride or die. And you guys are going to build this fantastic, lovely foundation. You're going to buy a great home. It's going to have a wonderful yard. You guys are going to have a nice garden where you plant your own bell peppers and your own strawberries. I don't know. You're just going to have great, fabulous time in your lovely home that you build with your partner. That's for some of you. For others of you, you view your partner as this, as that's their potential, but you're not into it. Like, it's not what you want, or this is what you want, and they don't. Excuse me. That's what they want, but you don't see yourself as a part of that. So maybe it's a disagreement on what kind of home or where that home is going to be. That's sort of like for the people who are like not, their head's not in the game right now. Like, I'm with you, but I don't want to live in Connecticut. My ideal home is in the deserts of Arizona, and you guys are like worlds apart. But I mean, you both agree that we should have a Ten of Pentacles lifestyle, just you don't agree on where. For others of you who are single and want to be and want to stay that way, or you're with someone and you want to be single, you just see your partner kind of having like a pipe dream about this. And they've like already picked out the linens and the color scheme in the master bedroom. And you're like, but we live in a studio apartment and we barely have enough money for rent. How can we have this? Or, I've been kind of giving you the cold shoulder, Becky. Like, don't you get it? I don't want to be with you. But you haven't told them this yet. For some of you who are like dating, sort of seeing somebody and they're taking it a little serious and you're like, but I thought this was just a hookup. Like, we met on Tinder. What are you talking about? For some of you. All right? So, that's nice for those of you who have that and want that and you're building your way towards that. I'm sorry for those who that's your partner's dream and you're like, stop this madness, please. Now, what are you wishing for in your outcome? What's next for you, or what you're hoping for, or what might be the advice is the Seven of Cups. So that's in line with all of you, all of those scenarios. And here's how. If you are the happy couple, the happy married couple, the happy engaged couple, long-term dating, whatever, you're like, what's next? Ooh, what's next? What's next? This is about choices. Seven of Cups is about choices, right? This young lady is there with her kitty cat, and she's looking at all these lovely cups, and she's like, ooh, which one should I get? Which one should I get? And she can't have them just yet. They're in that glass casing, and they're not readily available to her. So the idea of choice, I think, in other tarot decks is like sort of immediate. With this one, I think I said it in a previous video, is like window shopping. Like, you are aggressively window shopping. You're not actually able to touch the cups yet, to reach out and grab them. You have to wait a minute. So for some of you, the idea of that house is, okay, I don't want to live in Connecticut, or you don't want to live in Connecticut. I sure as hell don't want to live in Arizona. Let's find something in the middle and let's land in Oklahoma. Who would ever do that? I don't know. And so now maybe you guys are looking at homes in the Midwest to kind of merge your two desires. The Midwest doesn't have desert, so whoever wants Arizona, I'm sorry, you're being swindled. But for others of you, it's the option of, well, I like this person, but I don't want to go here with them to the Ten of Pentacles. So what are my other options? So some of you are still using that Tinder app and you're swiping. And they're like, what you doing, babe? What are you doing? Or who are you talking to? Who's on your phone? And you're like, oh, I'm just talking to my mom. And you're like, really? You're window shopping on Tinder for a hookup. Okay? So that's for others of you. For those who are single and want to stay that way, this is options, and cups deal with emotions. So you might be looking for what emotionally fulfills you right now, because again, the idea of love or having a relationship, making love offers, having love offers come to you is not appealing. So you're looking for other things that will emotionally fulfill you. So some of you might be looking at new hobbies. You guys might be looking to meet up with old friends and, grab coffee, whatever. Something to, bide your time until you're ready to get into a love mode. And that makes sense coming out of the Mercury retrograde. If you didn't have anybody on deck, if you weren't really seeing anybody and Mercury retrograde kind of did a number on you, you might be, slowly inching your way back out of that weird energy that Mercury can douse on us, right? Now, what's your partner doing? On their side, they're coming into the second half of April as the Ace of Pentacles and the Hangman. So for some of you, your partner has a new endeavor or new idea. They might have a new business that they're trying to get into, or a new project they're trying to get off the ground, but they're a little delayed, they're a little stalled. Or they're needing to reevaluate something, get a different perspective, go back over their business plan, go back over their financial plan, talk to their lawyers, talk to their financial advisors, talk to their best friend who has really good ideas and advice, whatever. And for many of you, this is for your benefit. Like, it might seem like they're only interested, like this is sort of like a solo energy. Like, I don't really see Virgo playing too much into this energy. So for those where you're like, yeah, my partner is like so involved in their work, or they're like really just spending long hours at work, and they're really, really hitting the books hard. Like, maybe they're studying. Not that I see that there, but maybe they're really like reading up on how to launch a business, how to launch an online store successfully, things like that. That would be for your benefit. I think that for those of you where this is your partner's energy, they're doing it because they have that 10 of Pentacles goal with you. They share it. For others of you, where it's not so copacetic and it's not so happy, I think your partner wants to be happy. But they're having to reevaluate, how are they going to get happy? How are they going to get happy? How are they going to become happy? They want to have a new start. They want it to be practical. They want it to be grounded. They want it to be based on something that is substantial in terms of love. But how are they going to go about it? Some of them might be doing some introspective work. Some of them might be in like a meditative state, like maybe some are practicing yoga, meditation to kind of become more grounded. So for either group, your partner's doing stuff on their own for their benefit and for yours too, because if it is new business, that's going to help you guys build your legacy, build your happy family going forward. For those who this is like the partner's meditating, they've never meditated a day in their life, and you're like, babe, don't you want to go and get our breakfast burrito bowl? And they're like, I don't eat meat anymore. I don't eat processed foods anymore. And you're like, okay, I'll be back. That benefits them, but that also benefits you, because they're going to gain a better perspective for themselves. And they're going to be able to do something with that going forward. So maybe that's not what you want to hear, but I always like that when someone's on the road to self-improvement. Give them the claps. Good for you. Even if you're sitting and eating your burrito bowl alone and you're kind of sad about it, be happy for your partner. They're meditating. They're getting back in touch with themselves. They're getting grounded. Now, Virgo, how is your partner seeing you right now? Or seeing your connection together? Here comes the curveball. The Tower card. Now, faulty foundations, right? Destruction. It's not built correctly, tear it down. Demolish it. It's in code violation, the building code violation, right? And the two people come flying out of the tower because it's on fire and there's a lightning strike and all that fun stuff, right? I think that they think some of you, Virgo, some of your partners believe that for right now, you don't have the right game plan. You're building something, or you built something that isn't going to last, that isn't going to support yourself or them going forward, so it needs to come down. It needs to be taken away. We need to go back to the drawing board. It's not Oklahoma. Why don't we meet in the middle and go to Colorado? It's got great outdoors, even though it's not sandy and dusty like Arizona, but it's got great outdoors. It's got the cool weather that I like, that's in Connecticut, and you can smoke weed. Boom. So something like that. For others of you, the one who skips out on the burrito bowl because they're in the apartment meditating and practicing yoga, they also, this is for the people who are like in a relationship, but they're like, I don't want to be, your partner knows that, or will know that, or will agree with you at some point once they get their reflection done. Once they do that inner work and that reevaluation, they're going to be like, oh yeah, this isn't working out. We're two different people. We got to be blown out of this tower. Come on, lightning strike, hit us, you know? Or they know that that's what you want. Ooh, for some of you, okay, there it is. Not only do you want it, for some of you, your partner recognizes that this is what you're doing. Like, you're kind of being a bitch. Or you're being, like, destructive. Not destructive, but you're trying to bring about this tower moment for some of you. Which is, I've known a Virgo or two in my time, and I've known at least one or two of them who have pushed the other person to the breakup. Like, I did XYZ, and then she called me, and then she said it was over. I got what I wanted. So for some of you, that could apply. You are trying to push your partner, or push whoever you're dating, or push whoever has been your Tinder hookup for the past month or so to the brink of saying, you know what, Virgo? Forget it. You're too crazy, or you're being this way, you're being that way. I don't need this. Goodbye. Okay? And they might not know that, but they think like your unwillingness to like compromise and be nice to them or give them the time of day, like you might be being cold and aloof. You might be canceling plans on them at the last minute, whatever it is. They view that as you trying to destroy it. Like, they just don't know that that's your, like, scheme. Like, they don't know that you're, some of you, not all of you, I'm sorry, but some of you are kind of diabolical, and that's been your goal the entire time. Some just think, oh my God, why are you like this? I thought you were so cool. And on the inside, Virgo's like, I am cool. I just don't want to be cool with you. Okay. Now, what's their desired outcome? What might be in the future for them going forward in this relationship is the Nine of Wands in reverse. Oh, sorry. Show it to you upright. So you can become familiar with the happy deck. In reverse. Oh no. Well, not oh no. It's just the passion is gone for now on your partner's side. So for those who are in that happy marriage where the legacy is the thing, legacy is the name of the game, happy family going forward. Okay, so for now, your partner is working on something. They're reflecting on themselves. And then this energy means maybe for you happy people who have been married for a long time, you're just not going to get laid for a little bit. And there won't be any happy dancing in the bed. Okay? Others of you, it could be for your partner's side, is this whole reflective period. Because the Hangman is about not stopping necessarily. Well, it could be stopping. So slowing down. And the Ace of Pentacles being related to Earth energy, is a little slow. So this whole slow down thing is happening in these three cards. They might have a bright idea and they are getting their energy back. They're getting their mojo back by, getting in their zen, okay? But they just can't act right now. The opportunity may not be ready for them in these last 2 weeks of April. And maybe also not into May, since time is fluid in tarot. So for some, it's just like having to cool the jets. Now, for those who are in that Tinder situation, like, God, Becky, get out of my apartment already. I had the burrito bowl and I puked it up on you. Can't you see I don't want you here? For your partner, they too would be cooling their jets in the bedroom because you vomited your burrito bowl onto them in an attempt to have them break up with you. Now, sorry if that was really disgusting, but that was the funny little scenario that came into my head. And it's funny to me, so I apologize if that's not your humor. But they too would be like not wanting to get jiggy with it. Why did I say that? Oh, that's terrible. They would not want to be intimate with you, which suits you well, Virgo. You're like, good. I don't want to be intimate with you anymore either. For others, it might throw them off their track, or they might be thrown off their own track. And again, that slowed down energy of, okay, I do see this tower situation, but am I really going to leave just yet? So some of you might be with someone who's a little stubborn, who takes a while to get the hint, okay? And for those of you who are single, but maybe, you're kind of seeing someone who, or you're encountering someone who has like their eye on you, or they're flirting with you, this person is catching the cold wind that you're blowing with the tower. You're icing them out, and they're like, oh man, I gotta send my Knight of Wands back to the castle. I'm not gonna hook up with Virgo. Virgo's not giving me the time of day. I've tried I've had a new idea. I waited, I was patient, but I still didn't get any action. I still didn't get a bite. So they're feeling dejected, rejected. Okay? Wow, Virgo. Well, for some of you, this is good. For others of you, this is so-so. And for others of you, it's just what the doctor ordered, right? All right, Virgo. I thank you for watching the video up until this point. If you like what you saw here, hit the like button. Feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. Do comment below, as I like to know what's going on with you guys, if it resonated. If it didn't, I also like to know that too. And also feel free to share the video. If you've got friends who you're like, oh my God, you're a Virgo and this is your life, show them. Thanks, guys. I will see you in another 2 weeks when I come back and do your readings for the first half of May. And now we're going to get on to Capricorn. Hello, Capricorn. Welcome to your love reading for the second half of April. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. Oh, is this right? Yeah. Wait, hold on. Okay. Yeah, that's right. Had to make sure the deck was up, right? Okay, Capricorn. Yeah, I hope you guys are doing well. Thank you for your views of previous videos. If you are a returning viewer, if you're new, welcome to these readings. Just going to reestablish myself with Capricorn's energy in this deck. Yes, okay. Capricorn, let's do it. First card out is going to be how you are feeling coming into this love relationship. What's the energy that you're bringing? How are you viewing yourself? Where are you? Where are you mentally? Where are you emotionally? All that good stuff. Second card is going to be Capricorn, how you're viewing your partner or potential partner at this time in the second half of April. What you feel you guys are sharing in your connection with each other. How you view yourselves as a unit. Things like that. Is that 3? It is 3. I do not accept 3. Is that 3 again? What? You're being stubborn. Capricorn, okay, there we go. Third card, Capricorn, is going to be your desired outcome, what you might be hoping or wishing for in this connection in the future. Or it just might be some advice. What might be the next best step for you in this relationship in the second half of April. Wow, that was a nice little flip. It was like a little BMX, skateboarding type trick. Anyway, first card on this side is going to be Capricorn. How your partner is viewing themselves in this relationship. What's the energy that they're bringing in? What might be their mental state or emotional state right now? What might be the circumstances that they're dealing with? There it is. Second card is going to be how they're viewing you right now in this relationship, or how they're viewing you guys as a unit. Excuse me. Third is going to be their desired outcome, what they might be hoping and wishing for in this connection. What might be the next best step for them on their side of things. Or just some general advice. No energy from the bottom of the deck, because you are your own overall energy in the love reading. Flip the cards over. See what you got. Excuse me. Okay. Okay, Capricorn. I apologize about that. I was doing your reading, and then Mercury is still playing tricks on me and messing with my camera, so I got semi-far, excuse me, in your reading, and then the camera was like, no more. So we're back, and I'm going to start again. Leave me alone, Mercury. Okay, so first card out, you have the Eight of Cups. I'll show it to you like this, in case you're not familiar with this deck. But it was in reverse, so I'll show it to you like this, so you can become acquainted with it. So Eight of Cups. So Eight of Cups, traditionally in the tarot, talks about being dissatisfied and moving on. Emotional dissatisfaction within a situation and saying, you know what, there's got to be more than this, and you get up and you walk out. Not necessarily like in an abandoning type way, not like so impulsively, but definitely with the idea of, I've had enough, I have to get out of here. But it's in reverse. And the interesting thing here is this woman on the Eight of Cups card looks pretty dang exhausted, right? But the card is in reverse. I don't necessarily think that this doesn't mean you are in search of something else. Or, as I said previously, in the previous footage, which who knows when it stopped recording. But anyway, not necessarily in search of something else, like completely different, but in search of something more. So I think for you, Capricorn, in the second half of April, some of you might want to get in touch again. Since this is a love reading with your partner, you might be wanting you and your partner together to get to a deeper level, to be able to connect in a way that you haven't done so before, or haven't done so ever, or for a long time. So this might be a couples retreat that you want to go to. Or it might be, couples therapy. Could just be a romantic getaway, or not. If you can't afford to get away, you've got kids at home, whatever it is, maybe just a nice dinner out on a Friday night. Like, let's get a babysitter this weekend. We're going out. We need to treat ourselves. Now, for those of you who maybe you do have a partner, but this whole I want more or I want something else is so low, like you feel that energy for yourself, or you kind of have that as your goal for yourself. Okay, so some of you might still be needing to go and see a therapist, or find a counselor to talk to, or connect with a best friend, etc., etc. Whatever it is, or however this falls out for you, it's in reverse. So you want, like, if it's up here, if it's upright, you would be going for it. Like, this exhaustion would be too much, and this dissatisfaction would be too much that you'd be like, you know what, I gotta go out. I have to find some respite. I have to find some resolution to this. When it's like this, you still want it, but you're not able to go and get it. You're not able to find the means. You're not able to find the time, since it's cups, emotions, and so you might not have the commitment, like you want it, but you don't want it so badly that you actually get up and do anything about it, or you want it so badly, but you kind of get in that weird spiral of, I want it, but if I do it, maybe I'll fail, or if I do it, it might be too hard, and you might be like sort of second guessing yourself, which is not typical of Capricorn. So I don't think that applies to a good portion of you. I think that it's more a situation of you want it, but something circumstantial is preventing you. You're not able to commit as much time and effort as you would want to, or if it is about a couple's retreat or a nice night out with your partner, whatever it is, you guys just might not have, you haven't found an alignment in your schedules, a free time in your schedules to do this. So that's why it would be in reverse. You want to have more, you want something new, you want something different, you want that emotional fulfillment, but you can't reach out and grab it yet, or you can't start walking that path just yet. Feels like it would be coming to you at some point, I think. I don't feel like that's a huge block. I think it's very temporary or it's circumstantial, okay? Now, how are you viewing your partner in this relationship? Or how are you viewing your relationship as a unit? You view it as, oh my God, I can't talk. You view them or your situation, relationship together as the hermit, but reverse. Now, hermit talks about traditionally that retrospection, that internal work on a spiritual level, going into a deep cave, not coming out for a long time. Not to say that a person would be a recluse, like you wouldn't see them for like 2 weeks and be like, hey Jim, where'd you go? I was in a deep dark cave. It's not like that. But it would just be something that the person would be doing as a solo journey, as something that they need to do and process on their own. It's in reverse though. So you and your partner, if you do have a partner, spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, both of you need this, like, you need more, or you need that time to recalibrate yourselves, to get yourselves back on track, to get your mojo back, to get your energy back, to get that passion back, whatever it is. But they can't do it either. Or okay. Theirs feels a little bit more like a refusal because, like I said, the hermit is spiritual. And that usually, to me, means something inside of you keeps, like, knocking. Knock, 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 knock. You hear it, you feel it, but when it's in reverse, the hermit in reverse, but you ignore it. So your partner might know they need this recalibration, might know they need to unplug for a couple of days, stay off of social media, do a cleanse, whatever it is, but they're just not doing it. Even though they know the benefits would be good for them. Oh, I went on a cleanse. I have my energy back. I don't have my symptoms of IBS aren't kicking up again because I did that cleanse that my doctor suggested for me. You know, getting off of social media. I finally don't know what the Kardashians are doing, and I'm okay with that. But it's in reverse. They know what the Kardashians are doing, and they have to go to the bathroom urgently. They're not taking care of themselves spiritually. They're not getting that reflection done so that they can come out on the other side in a better mental state, in a better spiritual state, better emotional state. I think yours is more external. Something is blocking you, like, again, scheduling, circumstance, maybe issues with money, or for others of you, it is that internal thing of, I want to, but I can't. Theirs is, I know I have to, and I won't. Or I know I have to, but I don't want to do it right now. That kind of energy. Yours is more of like which is very strange for Capricorn. It's sort of like more sad, actually. Not to say Capricorns can't be sad, but my association with Capricorn is like power through. You know, we have a scheduled time for when we cry. That's at like 6:30 p.m. and it's only 4, so let's just get through this. We all have our ways of coping. And for some of you, that's your way, and that's okay. Now, what's your desired outcome? What might you be hoping or wishing for going forward in this relationship is the Emperor. Or what might just be next best steps, or what's advice for you. The Emperor. This guy. I'm pretty sure, like, that's a knockoff Chef Boyardee, like, head. And, I mean, that would be fitting since this guy is made of cans, right? But traditionally, what's the Emperor talking about? Emperor traditionally talks about in the Rider-Waite decks and other decks, talks about a man, or just a powerful figure, not necessarily a man, that's in control, that has dominion over something, usually a business owner, or the head of a company, the boss, things like this. And traditionally, it's done for the benefit of the people. Like, he can be a tyrant, but he came upright, so he's not in that mode. Or just the lower energy of an emperor, if they're not sure, like, not sure, but if they're dastardly and not of good character, they would be a tyrant. Now, in this deck, I get like an entrepreneurial feel from this guy. from this knockoff Chef Boyardee. So some of you might be dealing with someone, or you yourself might be entrepreneurial. It's also the card of Aries, so some of you might be dealing with an Aries. Now, how is this what you're wishing for or hoping for in the future? I think it would be you, Capricorn, for yourself. Is it for the partner too? No, more so for yourself. So for most of you, or at least a good portion of you, you want to be in control. You want to get back to having this fortitude, this sort of abominable kind of feeling. Like the Emperor doesn't feel like anybody can destroy him. Anybody could take him on and stand a chance at defeating him. He's made of tin cans, for God's sakes. Like, it's that feeling of, I'm a winner, I'm going to win, it's going to be fabulous, it's going to be terrific. I'm going to stop with the impersonation there. But it's like that type of energy where you're so hopped up on your own supply, you're drinking your own Kool-Aid and you think it tastes great. But with the Emperor in a higher vibration and the higher quality of the Emperor card, which is what I'm feeling, I'm not feeling like a lower quality here. It's not like a megalomaniac. It's not like you have no reason to believe it. You have reason to believe it. The proof is in the pudding. Or the proof is in the beans and the peas, I guess, in this case. So you want to have this power. You want to have this sort of self-made energy or this self-controlled energy. You want to have control over who you are, what you do, how you do it, when you do it. You want to call your own shots, which makes sense because you're not able to do it here as you come in. So you just want to get back to a place of power, in a place of control, a place of, like, you know where everything is, everything's in its place, everything is like a well-oiled machine. Down here, things are a little discombobulated, things are a little bit in a disarray, or you feel like they are. Again, because I think it's, for some of you, that's an internal energy. That's like I just can't get started. You know? It's Wednesday, and I'm like, why is it Wednesday? When is it going to be Friday? When is it going to be Saturday? Like, you just are looking forward to rest. That's how you're coming in. How you want to be in the future is, I don't need rest. The Emperor is like, I don't need to rest. I've had 6 Red Bulls. I've had 10 espressos. Sure, I'm on my way to urgent care right now, but at least I got the job done. That's what you want. Okay? Which is nice in a love relationship, to have control, to have structure, to have a plan, to have the means and the capability to succeed. That's important in a love relationship. And that definitely would apply to Capricorn. You guys like to be accomplished. You guys like to have, not achievements, but you like to have the ability to achieve. You don't like to feel like you can't do anything. You don't like to feel like you can't accomplish what you set out to do. So getting back to that feeling is paramount to you right now, okay? On your partner side, how are they feeling about themselves? How are they coming in here? What's the energy that they're working with right now? They're the Knight of Wands. Oh, God. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to sigh like that. But the reason I did was because looking at this card, it reminded me of Dennis the Menace, like that old cartoon or that old TV show or that old comic strip. Yeah, I know the different incarnations of Dennis the Menace. Now look, that's what that reminded me of. And the reason I sighed was because I don't like kids like that myself, personally. Little mischievous kids with like a slingshot in their back pocket, you know, and they're doing all kinds of crazy, mischievous things down by the creek or down by the train tracks. They're just, they're the bad news bears, you know? Please don't say that's what I'm saying about your partner. That's just how I interpreted this card myself. Now, what is actually going on is maybe for some of you, you do have a little rascal for a partner who's being a little, you know, like a little mischievous adolescent right now, right? For some of you. They're coming in hot and heavy. They're leaving hot and heavy. They're like bouncing off the walls. They too have had 10 espressos, but instead of being the Emperor, they've turned into the Knight of Wands, whatever. For some of you, that is what the case. For others, you've got an adventurer on your hands. Like you have someone who is sort of bursting at the seams with the energy of go, go, go. And literally go, go, go somewhere else. Not like they're running away from you. Like I think for a lot of you, it would be a let's run away together. Let's leave the kids and the in-laws. Let's just take a bag each and we're going to Costa Rica. Are we coming back? I don't know. Like, for some of you, that's what's going on. You have a partner who's just wanting to abandon ship, but take you with them because they love you. For others of you, you have a partner or potential partner who wants to get things done, but doesn't necessarily have a plan, doesn't necessarily have like an outline or a blueprint on how to get there, how to make it happen. Because the Knight of Wands, he's very energetic. He's that go, go, go energy, okay? But he lacks practicality a lot of the times. He has a lot of energy. He has a lot of tenacity. He's got a lot of gumption and to do about him, but he doesn't know how to get from point A to point B in the most efficient way. He's like, I'm just going to go. And you're like, you know, if you go that way, it's going to take you like 2 hours longer. And the Knight of Wands would be like, oh, really? Okay, well, I'm still going to go my way. So there's that issue of not being super practical, not being thought out, not being fleshed out. But they're energetic. In terms of love and romance and intimacy, they are also energetic. There might be a little bit of adult fun time in there if you so choose to have it. But going back to the first part of it, where some of them are mischievous, some of them might be doing a little sneaky thing, but it's only for fun. Like, I don't think it's like a bad, mischievous energy. Like, they might see you in your, like, downtrodden mode here, and they might play a practical joke on you to try and, you know, lift your mood, but you're not having it. Like, that's not going to make you feel better. And they should have known that if they had gone inside and done some deep thoughts with Jack Handy, okay, and got in touch with themselves spiritually, they would know Capricorn will not respond well to you dousing them with water from a bucket when they walk in the door from work. That's not going to cheer them up. If they sat and thought about that and got in touch with themselves and realized they were being a little Dennis the Menace jackass, that wasn't going to brighten your day. But they're the Hermit reverse, so they're not in that energy of wanting to get serious. Which is interesting because how they view you is as the Queen of Pentacles. She's serious. This lady is serious. She means business. Not in a, you know, boss lady, you know, I hate to say it, but bitchy boss lady. Not in that way, but she means business. Like, Queen of Pentacles is not only a homemaker, she's a businesswoman. She's an independent woman who has a family at home that she takes care of, that she nurtures, that she, you know, makes hot meals for, etc., etc. They know that's your capability. And it's within your suit of pentacles for the earth sign, so you're in your element in their eyes. You are who you are, Popeye style. You is who you is, right? And they like that. If they're married to you, they definitely like it. They know that you guys have a nice little home life together, or if you don't have it now, you're going to get on your way to having a nice home life with them. But in addition, I think that they know that as this Queen of Pentacles, you have that overworked or unfulfilled element about you right now. Because again, this queen, as opposed to the Queen of Pentacles in the Rider-Waite deck, who's sitting on a throne and kind of admiring her pentacle. She's done the work already. That queen in the Rider-Waite deck. She's done the work. This queen is about to go out. She's about to leave the door and go punch a clock. She's about to go make more pentacles or earn more money. So they know that you are working hard, even though you may not have the energy or the dedication or the commitment or just the drive and the fulfillment that you need or that you desire. And I'm sorry to say it, but they're not really helping you. It doesn't seem with between this energy and that. They're not helping themselves. That means they can't help you. They can't take care of themselves. That means they can't take care of you. Do they want to? I don't know. But some of you are dealing with somebody who just can't get you to here. You're going to get yourself to the Emperor energy. They're not going to really help you. Now, what's their desired outcome? What might they be hoping for? What's coming in the future on their side of things is the Eight of Swords. So, I don't think they're hoping for this. I don't think they're wishing for this. I think this is just what's happening for them. They're tied up, right? Like that woman on that little skewer. I think some of them might have circumstances that are tying them up. Some of them might have work, other obligations that tie them up where they can't really connect with you right now. Others of them, being that it's swords energy, are mentally tied up. Immature, insecure. Two words that just came. Immature and insecure. Maybe I was right to go Dennis the Menace when I first saw this guy. So some of you Capricorns are dealing with someone who you love dearly. I think you do love them a lot. And they love you. But they are not on your level, so to speak. They're not as serious as you are. They play more games than you do. They're more, like I said, more mischievous. They have the spirit of a very young person. They like to laugh, they like to party, they like to have a good time, they like to be social. And you like that too, but you know that there's a time and a place for it. That's like what they love to do. Like that's, if they could be paid to just have a good time in life, and they would do that. If they could get paid to play pranks on people, they would do that. They don't like real work. They don't like, not to say they don't like hard work, but they just don't like to be so constrained. And that's the irony, is that's what's going to end up happening to them, because they're going to get wrapped up in their head thinking, oh, man, I have a good one with this Capricorn. Am I really right for them? Are we really going to make it? Like, there's some doubt there in the Eight of Swords on their side of things. They're, like, skeptical of this connection that you guys have. And again, if you're, like, super happy and they're super happy and none of this is hitting, this is not for you. But if this is resonating, I think you guys have a super strong bond. I don't see anything here that's showing you guys don't have care and concern for the other person. I just think that there might be a slight disconnect right now. On your end, it might be circumstantial, dealing with your energy level, dealing with your emotional level, where it's just not to full capacity, but you want to end up there, and you're probably going to get there. You want to end up as the Emperor in this energy again. There, you're going to get there. They know that about you. They know that you have that Emperor potential in you, that energy in you. I just think that they're a little insecure. They know, or they believe, whether or not it's true, that's down to the individual, that's down to the circumstances between you, but they don't believe they could match you. And that concerns them in their mind, swords energy in their mind. Behaviorally, all day. All day. Okay. They're putting on a smile, they're laughing and joking, and they're not telling you inside they're a little panicked about, oh my God, this person is great. They're going to find out I'm a fraud. They're going to find out I'm just a big kid in adult clothes, like that movie Big. Which is great. Tom Hanks was fabulous, right? But that's what's going on. They're like playing at adulthood. You're for reals about adulthood. You are for reals about it. And they're like, I guess. I guess this is what we're doing. But again, the connection is fabulous. It's fabulous in the sense of nobody's trying to like jump ship without the other. They might still want to go to Costa Rica and like come back never. But they want to go with you. Okay? Alright, Capricorn. I thank you for watching up until this point. I hope that you enjoyed your reading. If you did, please hit the like button. Feel free to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Also, feel free to comment and share the video if you have friends who are also Capricorns. Or, you know, you just want to share it with people so that they know your situation. Please do that. And again, please look into... Oh my God, taking the whole thing with me. Go ahead and look in the description box for information about getting personal readings with me, making donations to my channel. I do appreciate it. It helps me to continue to make these videos because it takes time and effort to do this. And sometimes time and effort is translated into dollars. Anyway, so I will be back in another 2 weeks when I do your first half of April readings, Capricorn, and anyone else who's watched into this point. I thank you so much for viewing the video, and have a good one.